He didn't even look at me when he said the words, "Get out," just like that. Years of marriage reduced to a command spat like I was an intruder in my own home. His son stood behind him, smirking. 17 years old, entitled, venomous. He had whispered poison into his father's ear for weeks. Lies about me. Lies so absurd I laughed at first. But my husband didn't. He believed him over me. That was the night I packed 2 bags and walked out, my dignity shredded but my silence intact. I met my husband 12 years ago, a widower, charming, stoic, broken in the way that draws women in. I thought I could heal him, give him back a family. His son was 8 back then, fragile, quiet. I held his hand at parent-teacher meetings, cooked him meals, soothed his nightmares. I loved him like my own. But grief is a strange inheritance. His son never forgave me for existing. As he grew older, that quiet turned sharp. A slammed door, a muttered insult, a sneer when his father wasn't looking. I thought it was teenage angst. I was wrong. It began small, claims that I favored myself over him, that I was stealing his father's time. Then larger, accusations of spending money, of using his father. Finally, the knife slipped in. He told his father I was unfaithful. No proof, just words, and my husband believed. No confrontation, no chance to defend myself, just his back as he told me to leave. I remember standing at the door that night, cold air biting my skin. My heart wanted to scream, to fight, to claw my way back into the life I built. But I didn't, because I realized something. If a man who vowed to love me could throw me away so easily, then he was never mine. The next 3 weeks were quiet. To him, it must have looked like exile, punishment. To me, it was clarity. My grief calcified into steel. I didn't cry. I planned. I pulled out the marriage documents, the joint accounts, the house deeds. Half of everything, legally mine. I spoke with my lawyer, calm, precise, efficient. Every account was combed, every signature checked. My husband had never imagined I'd fight. He thought he could discard me without consequence. That was his mistake. When he finally called, his voice carried false authority. "Have you reflected?" Reflected, as if I were a misbehaving child, as if I should crawl back, grateful for crumbs. I didn't answer on the phone. I agreed to meet. Neutral ground, a cafe we once loved. He arrived with his son, of course. The boy leaned back in his chair, arrogant, eyes filled with triumph. He thought he had won. I set the papers down between us. Divorce, property division, bank account freezes. A request for half the business profits since marriage, profits that had doubled because of my strategies. My husband's face drained of color. "You can't be serious," he whispered. "I'm done begging to be believed," I said, my voice steady. His son laughed. "She's bluffing. She has nothing." I turned my gaze on him. Calm, cold. "Everything your father owns is tied to me. Every account, every house. Even this business you think you'll inherit one day, it's half mine. And soon, legally, it won't be his either." For the first time, the boy's smile faltered. The weeks that followed unfolded like chess. Every move of mine had been prepared. The lawyer filed. The judge approved temporary freezes. My husband tried to plead, to bargain. He said he loved me, that he had been misled. But it was too late. Love doesn't throw you into the street on a lie. The son raged, screamed in court hallways, called me a witch, a thief, a destroyer. But every outburst only made him look smaller. His father, the man I once loved, now had to watch as his empire cracked in half, because he had chosen his son's lies over my truth. The climax came on signing day. We sat across the long mahogany table, lawyers flanking us. Papers stacked, pens ready. He looked at me, eyes bloodshot. The son lurked behind, restless, pacing. "Please," my husband murmured, barely audible. I slid the pen across the page, ink sealing the end of us. Then I stood. The son snapped. He slammed the table, shouting at his father, "You let her ruin us! You let her take everything!" But his father didn't answer. He just sat there, broken, staring at the woman he underestimated. I walked out, heels echoing on the marble floor. Neither of them followed. Do I feel regret? No. Relief, perhaps. Power, definitely. They thought they could erase me with lies. Instead, I erased the life they thought they controlled. The boy wanted me gone. He succeeded. But in doing so, he lost the security he took for granted. His father wanted obedience. Instead, he got emptiness. And me? I got freedom. And half of everything. Funny, isn't it? They threw me out with nothing but a suitcase. I walked away with their empire in my